So they said we calling out all Dobermans. Psych! I'm only calling out a couple of them.
Man, but, I gotta call everyone.
Listen, hey, but we're calling out a couple of them because we did nothing to them, but they did everything to us. And so this video is all about talking about our favorite breed, hopefully yours, which is the Doberman. Not just any Doberman, but the European Doberman. Am I right, man?
Our babies, man.
I'm Darl.
Leo, right here.
And together we've got
30
probably
years, 30
combined 30 years in this breed. So you really can't tell us what we don't know. And if you tell us what we don't know, we just learn. Listen, first of all, I like to say, most of the breeders that I deal with are on a limited basis that I'm just a stud service provider. But I have dealt with a couple of breeders by default that I shouldn't have. And one of them is this guy in Turkey. He owns a dog named Hunter. Now, Hunter bloodline is from
Del Nazi. Balthazar, right? And he traced back to Del Nazi.
Listen, Del Nazi is the foundation of a lot of these dogs.
It's the ground.
It's the foundation. You listen, you've been dodging the question.
You've been dodging, dodging the bullet and stuff.
Listen, I looked on Instagram. The last video you posted was 44 weeks. So I'm asking my woman, like, okay, how many months in a week? 4. 6 times 4 was 6 months. 6 times 4 is 24. Okay. 10 times 4 is 40. So you haven't posted a video, bruh.
Hunter's gone, bro.
Hunter's gone. All dogs go to heaven. But I will say this. The reason why I have a bone to pick with him, because the way he does business to me is unorthodox and unethical. Number one, he sells a lot of sick dogs. When people call him out on his live stream, he shuts the live stream down. But the problem I have with him personally, he singled me out. Many years ago, I'll say a couple years ago, I was gonna buy a dog and I had named him Royce, like Rolls Royce, Royce. I talked to this breeder and the breeder had a male dog named Axel or something like that, but it was a nice puppy, good, strong working lines, and somehow it got back to this guy, Erdrum, right? Erdrum took it upon himself to be very loquacious and tell this lady not to sell a puppy to me. I'm like, wait a minute. This guy is where? In Turkey? I'm in Inglewood? And you got a problem with a brother in Inglewood? I'm like, I'm creating some waves here. It's like, what did I do to him?
For those of you who don't know, Inglewood is in California.
It's in California, not Inglewood, Illinois.
Los Angeles, right?
Inglewood, California.
That's right.
So I'm like, why is he hating on me? I'm like, the dude don't even know my middle name, can't pronounce my last name if he knew it. I'm like, wait a minute. So from that point on, I had a little bad, I had no respect for that guy after that point. Then come to find out, speed the process up, his foundation dog that put him on the map, where he does all his slow motion videos with 10 guys with no shirts on a yacht, or walking across the street, slow motion, or on his horse with no shirt, with dyed beards and mustaches, and he act like he don't speak English when he does speak English every now and then. I hear this dog Hunter has passed away. All dogs go to heaven, not Hunter's fault. But you ain't posted a video, bruh.
We all lost loved ones.
Yeah, we always lost loved ones. I lost 2 of my best dogs. Yeah. And guess what? I had to be transparent. And you still today has not put out, you got this Dr. Bombay thing.
He's still hiding it. He's still hiding it till this day. You know,
he's got this Dr. Bombay.
Truth has funny way to come out sometimes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's spin doctoring everybody. He's baiting and switching people where he's promoting his brown boy. And where's Hunter? Your best dog that put you on the map, that probably created the brown boy. He's nowhere. And you do these live streams from videos that were taken 2 years ago. You put them together. It's called editing magic. I'm like, bruh, you need to be transparent.
If you calling out, man, I gotta call him out. I gotta call out almost, dude. People already know. It's the ones that love talking about Fedor. You know, when something happened, oh, the dog, had a Fedor.
They going back 12 years.
12 years back.
Come on,
Fedor was a grandpa. You know, he's on the back of he's on the pedigree and stuff. That's why the dog have issues. No.
And we're talking about 15 years ago, 12 years ago.
Well, that's
talking about
that's the same thing.
8th generation.
Well, that's the same thing. Like, you have issues and you're calling up your great grandpa and stuff, and you get pissed off at him.
Exactly.
Why you had a cancer? Oh, I had cancer because my grandma. Mom, why did I do that? That's what people. If you look at it realistically, that's exactly what it is.
Breeders across the world, and especially in the U.S., one thing that will make you be in this game for a long duration period of time is being ethical and transparent. Once you start doing shady stuff, the word gets out, your business is dead.
You see, the worst part is that if it wasn't for that dog Fedor, we wouldn't have anything we have right now. You know what I mean? If you trace, yeah, that's right. Dude, he started producing the big blocky heads and the nice chest and powerful dogs, you know? Now, he did have a DCM. Now, another thing, he did. But he lived like almost 10 years old.
Yeah.
10 years old. And then you
the dog will get hit by a car before he dies.
Exactly. And then you have dogs that they never had DCM and so dropping dead from heart attack.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell these people.
Ain't nothing guaranteed with these animals.
Well, first thing they call me is, or the lady, everybody, when they call me the customer, because somebody told them, customer will call and ask, you know what, how about the DCM? Did your dogs, can you show me papers? I was like, lady, you don't know. I can tell you don't understand anything about this. You don't know what DCM is. You don't know any of that. Because I can tell you right now, just because the dog is, if the dog carries DCM, it can give it to the puppies or might not. But just because he does have a DCM, that doesn't mean your dog's going to die tomorrow. Or just because the dog is...
And when we talk about DCM, we're talking about, is it diluted cardiomyopathy or degenerative cardiomyopathy? It has to do something with the heart. Okay. And you got DCM1, DCM2, and the more copies you get, the more issues you may or may not have.
One makes you carrier. Yeah, one makes you carrier, and the other one makes you affected. That's what they're saying. Now, even with affected dogs, I've seen them live. Like, I know dogs that live affected with a heart. Vets will say, okay, he will die the next. He won't last 1 year. Live like 14 years old.
I got another one.
Which one is it?
This guy is in the valley. Now, let me get a backstory. This particular guy was a pet guy. Then he had a girlfriend that had a Dobie. And by that time, his girlfriend, everybody went to Dr. Labani for ear cropping. Dr. Labani was one of the best ear croppers in Southern California. He's passed away. He's in heaven. Rest in heaven. Dr. Labani. This guy got a Dobie. He's into ring sport. I think the name of his kennel is called Hollywood Ring Sport. Darl Young. He knows how I feel about him. We can't be in the same space. We can't be in the same state together. So this goes real deep.
It's
like
tense.
To the white meat deep.
It's tense, huh?
It's tense. And I think he thought I was just some Yahoo dude, fly by night, Southern California dude. I'm from Mississippi, so you know, my hands are not soft. And so he went around telling people that Alonzo had AIDS. I didn't know dogs could get AIDS, man. He ended up getting a Doberman. Doberman name is General. He would get all these titles, Ring 1, Ring 2, Ring 3, behind closed gates and doors where only the club members can come. No outside people can see these titles being incurred. All of a sudden, I see his email, his Facebook post. The dog is less than 5 years old. And by that time, Darren was talking about everybody else Doberman, that they ain't nothing but his is the best. He puts a post out there and said, General passed away. I knew this time was coming. He was ticking away, blah, blah, blah. And by that time, Darren had already bred this dog a lot. Didn't tell people. But he would tell people, yeah, my dog is health tested. Okay, they're health tested, but what's the results, right? He would say, my dog's health tested. So he was hitting people up for $3,000, $3,500, whatever it is.
For breeding?
No, for pups. And he wasn't telling people this dog had DCM too.
Oh, that's affected.
Yeah. And so all of a sudden, Darryl puts his post out saying the dog died in his truck. And this is the thing, like, you know what? When you're going to talk bad about other people.
That's exactly what happens.
And tell you something. I'm not in this game for money. If that was the case, I'd be broke 10 times over, right? I'm in this game because it's a hobby and I have an affinity for this breed and I love animals. And when you start talking to people and talking bad about people who are not in your lane, you're a dog trainer, first of all, not a dog breeder, then, you know, karma is a man. You know, so those are two people that's a real big thorn on my side that shouldn't be having dogs because their intent is different than what my intent is. And their intent is to say everybody's evil and they're the only best ones. But they're full of pack of lies.
They're all like that.
They're all lies.
Oh, man,
So those are my two bones I got to pick. But you had some people, you won't say names.
I don't. But see, the thing is I am not gonna say names, but they already know. They already know who they are. See, that it's. I'm gonna, like I said, I would have to call. There's so many of them, and they're all very familiar. Look, you gotta understand. Breeders will do anything in their power to stop you from selling, so they can sell. It's all about the selling game when it comes down to whatever. Now, the problem we have right here, and especially in California or United States, they don't have the experience. They don't know anything what they're talking about. And then on top of it, they talk So if you don't know what you're doing and then you talk it looks funny. You see what I'm saying? It's really nasty. And then that's when the turning around and it's biting them in the Then when they start, like you said, the guy's doing shady stuff and then his dog died, you know? Well, you know, that's a lot of it happened, you know, it happened with Erdem too. I mean, look at, you know, he was doing the same thing. What you think? I can tell you a bunch of cases of him. I'm not going to point them out. Females without nipples, females died pregnant. I mean, with so many of them. Which is why I go, when I sell Del Nazi dog, why I go run around. If somebody gets a phone call and stuff and says, oh, the dog have issue, I go run around in his house trying to help him out and see what's going on. You got to investigate that stuff. That's what people like. You got to, because when you sell these dogs, yes, you're not guaranteed stuff, but if you're in if you're doing a selling, you're a businessman now, you're a salesman, then make sure your product works.
But here's the game though. Breeders need to be a little bit more transparent throughout the United States and abroad. Case in point, you got a kennel out there called POR, aka Pride of Russia. Great breeders, I like them, but their bloodline is from Del Nazi.
Fedor.
Okay, so when people start, oh, it's a POR bloodline, or is anybody Diatabello bloodline, whatever bloodline you want to call it, you don't own those bloodlines. You just got a piece of the bloodline. So real breeders are going to breed with their own dogs. They're not going to keep breeding with other dogs and then call it their line. That's not your line.
This is not your thing. That's another thing.
That's not your line.
Now since you point out that, I'm gonna say something about this, and I'm gonna call almost all of them. Just because your dog's dad is Tommy Del Nazi or Diesel Del Nazi or Utah Del Nazi or whatever, and the mommy's for somewhere else, that doesn't mean your dog is Del Nazi. You keep on calling yourself Del Nazi, and that's just because you're trying to sell out your brand or whatever you're doing, but it's not Del Nazi. I want to make this clear. A lot of people, you can go online and see everybody's posting Del Nazi, but not everybody's Del Nazi. Or Betelgeuse, or he breeded with that dog, he breeded with this dog, so my dog is like, you can't call it like that. In the United States, yes, you can put whatever you like on your paperwork and AKC. And FCI in Europe, you cannot do that. People get sued right there. It's just a different story. So, you know, and everybody's doing it. But then when something happened, oh, my dog have issue, let's blame Fedor. Let's blame this. You see what I'm saying?
Let's blame the great-great-grandfather.
So when the game is good and stuff, we're Del Nazi.
Oh, you're the greatest.
Yeah, we're the greatest and stuff.
When somebody croaks over,
it's a Fedor Del Nazi. Oh man, he's
coming to join you, honey.
Right. That's how they all are. You know, so if I start calling them, I mean, there's like, I got to put out 150 names right here.
It's like, you don't know me, I might lie.
Yeah, that's right. That's another thing. You won't see Del Nazi breeding all over the place. Del Nazi is very organized and stable. Like what they do is breed. What they do, that they have their own circle and stuff. He has his own females, bunch of females, and he breeds it in his house. You won't see Timon going over there all over the place. We have done it in the past, and let me tell you, especially when you go somewhere else and breed, that's when issues happen, you know?
I don't like it when breeders sell puppies for a premium rate, over 3, and you get a thing called limited AKC. And I'm asking guys, I say, why are you doing limited? Because I don't want nobody breeding my lines. Well, clown, these ain't your lines, number one. And number two, why you want to have some kind of control over the people that buys this puppy? The puppy goes to the vet at least 3, 4, 5 times in that first year. Is the breeder going to contribute to that? No.
Right.
So I'm like, why do stuff like that? Why do we do limited? You're trying to like, my lines. They're not your lines, man. I give you some lines to read.
Give people the rights, you know what I mean? Give people the rights to
breed. Give people breeding rights. You know what? All they doing is putting your name on paper more. When they figure out who the dogs come from, guess what? They're going to go to you. Why are we doing this? Why are we spending... And you know, it's crazy how the pricing of these dogs go from 3 to almost 7 or 8 grand.
That's
puppies here in the United States.
That's the
it's crazy. And it's like, my thing is, whatever you're looking for, I hope you get it. But one thing for sure,
well,
nothing's guaranteed with these animals.
It will never be guaranteed. It's just like a humans. Can you tell me, can you promise me you're going to live to 100 years old? No. Can you promise your son or your kids or anybody will not have issues, health issues? They can never do that. It's just living being. You never know. Like if you want to, like I said it last time, if you want something that will be promised for you to see it every day, just get a robot. They're making I think Tesla's making it or somebody's making a dog's robot.
Get a damn robot.
Get a robot and then you can look at it every day. And so I'm sure you might have to do little adjustments of programming or stuff.
But you get what you want.
Forever. You're talking about living being and stuff. You know what I mean? Something will have. You will go to the vet. You will have problems. You will have issues.
The Doberman breed, I'll be honest with you, has went from very popular to where Frenchies became popular. Now Frenchies are not being so popular, and Dobermans are still popular. So we've been in this recession. So we see this. So at the end of the day, we got the recipes. You guys are only getting samples. You need to understand that the lines are not your lines. You're borrowing those lines from the original breeders in Europe. I'm borrowing lines. My boys are from Europe. I didn't create the lines. I'm borrowing the lines, but I'm making the lines very popular over here in the United States. That's all I can do.
That's right.
That's all I can do.
That's all we do. We are 20 light years behind Europe. That's what I'm gonna say. Now I will say this one thing though. I will tell this to European breeders. It's different here, you know what I mean? It's not what yes, you guys are way ahead of time, like you guys are way ahead of us over there. But right here is a different ballgame. We talking about, let's just say LA, let's just say California. I mean, we have 40 million people in this motherfucker.
Based on the census, that means some people didn't answer the damn doors.
Now, as far as the quality and all this stuff, Europeans can give it to us and we can do all these things. But you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Europeans have no clue how it's to deal with people right here. I mean, we're talking about it just put it this way. It's harder to deal with the people here than with the dogs. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it.
And other thing is, too, with these breeders here in the United States.
It's a different ballgame.
Different than Europe. In Europe, both parents have to have some kind of title. That's why you see a lot of puppy titles on dogs' pedigrees, because in order for them to breed.
Otherwise, you can't breed.
Or you can't breed them. Here, you can just put 2 dogs together, and they got puppies, and now they're registered.
Yeah, you can't do that in Europe. Yeah, your dog has to be titled, health tested, and all this stuff. That doesn't mean you're not gonna have issues with your dogs and stuff. Just to your point this, just because you buy it in Europe, just because you buy it from whatever, it's a living being. Again, I will say you might have issues. You know what I mean? You're just trying to handle it. Go a day is a day. I can't. And if somebody promise you that your dog's not gonna have issues, they're lying to you, because I cannot promise you that. And don't call me after that, because listen, if I don't like my house, can I return it?
No.
I have people right now say, hey, not even dog doesn't even have health issues. Can you take it back? I want my money back. Like 2 years later. It's like, well, I don't like my car. Can I return it right now? It's like, how about my house? I want another house. Let me ask you.
I would say I had a bad experience with one European breeder. I'm not going to say her name because we still cool. And this is where we probably end this show at some point. I bought a dog from a lady, and I noticed that he had this parallel line in his chest. I was like, well, where'd you get this keloid parallel line in his chest?
It's called a horsehair.
Yes, but that's what I thought. And I asked her, I took a picture of it. I said, no, this is where there's no hair growing. It's like it's keloid. It's like 3 inches long, straight right here. And she said, oh, puppies just play rough. I said, okay, no problem. Then I started realizing, I was like, some of these puppies that he's producing had white spots. It's like, wait a minute.
He added it's genetic. Wait a minute. He had white hair.
So I figured this out. She had surgery on the puppy
to remove the hair.
To cut the hair, stitch the skin closer together, and then she sold me the pup. Hella drive, nice looking boy, but he had a white spot. You can cut the white spot out all day long, but you can't take it out of his DNA. And that's what I say, you know what? Listen, when you buy a dog overseas, stick to the breeder that you have the best rapport with.
That's right.
Because they can send you a box of rocks and anything.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
You're not going to go to Russia and try to kick some
how about take them to court?
Yeah, try that. Go over there in Croatia. Go over there in Romania. You see, bro, you ain't coming back. You come back in boxes.
You see, this is what I want to explain to European breeders, though. Because, you see, this type of stuff, we can't do that. Right here in the United States, you're going to get it. They'll take you to court. They will cry every day at your door and stuff and all that. You know, you're going to go through this. Now, in Europe, it's a little bit different. You guys, they're a little bit more free when it comes. What I would say, they understand, Gerald. You know what I mean? They understand. I'm selling a puppy, and whoever is buying it understand. And if something happened, you know, it happens. Just like if something happened to you, it happened to you. You know, what are you gonna do about it? You gonna sue your grandparent because you're, you know what I mean?
Because I'm too tall?
They're too tall or too short?
Oh my God, I'm too good looking.
Yeah, go sue your grandparent.
What happened here?
Yeah, right? You see what I mean?
They curse me.
I have a heart issues and stuff.
I can jump 38 inches. I'm not supposed to do this.
Let me see who in my family had a
I played Hamlet at the Cambridge.
Who had a DCM in my family? Let me sue that motherfucker. Let's blame this guy. No,
my feet are too big.
You go as you go. You know, you live life. You know, it's
man up.
That's right.
That's one thing about these animals, and I'll say this and we can end, is that, you know, when it comes to puppies, it's different from humans. Humans, when you have a child, you just hope your child's born with no issues. When it comes to puppies, you pick and choose what size, what temperament,
and
what color, everything. So be mindful that having a dog is a luxury, not a requirement.